Samantha Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Sadhangmang Munirajasa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Durabhi Sambhavam Hibho Ko Bhogotamaranyavana Pathani Pantani Senasanani Dukkharang Pavivekang Durabhiramang Ekate Haranti Manye Mano Vanani Samadhin Alabhamanasa Bhikkhunnoti. Most venerable members of the Mahasangha, dear friends in the Dhamma, today at Lankarama Buddhist Institute, La Ponte, Los Angeles, we are celebrating the Unduap Full Moon Day. Unduap Full Moon Day is a very special day to all the Sri Lankans in particular, and also all the bhikkhunis in particular, and everyone in the world as Buddhists. It's a very specific day. Unduap Full Moon Day marks the arrival of Theri Sanghamita from India to Sri Lanka. That happened during King Devanampiya Tisa's time. That is somewhere in 3rd century BC. And that time, Theri Sanghamita came to Sri Lanka through Dambakula in the north of Sri Lanka. From Tamralipti she left. And then she came along with the Bodhi sapling, and it was established in Anuradhapura, Mahamevuna Viyana, a beautiful place, and that is also a place in Mahavihara. So this is the headquarters of Buddhism, in fact. Very important place. And this particular place, she came along with the Bodhi sapling, and she introduced Bhikkhuni order to Sri Lanka. And that Bhikkhuni order was very well respected, and Queen Anula herself was the first Bhikkhuni. And then along with her friends, there were 500 friends According to Deepavansa, there is a very extensive detail about account of this story in Deepavansa. And Mahavansa, Samantapasadika, Mahabodhivansa, they are very old, ancient, classic chronicles in Sri Lanka. So they talk about how important it is the arrival of Theri Sanghamita. Theri Sanghamita didn't come along. She came along with lots of things, lots of benefits, a full package she came along with. And ever since she came, it was all beneficial to Sri Lanka. Ever since she came and established Bodhi sapling, and it was very well respected. And today, even after 2000 years later, we still find Bodhi tree in Sri Lanka as one of our holiest icons, holiest places among the Buddhist countries. So it's very special. And Theri Sanghamita introduced Bhikkhuni order, and Bhikkhuni order later on was introduced even to mainland China. Bhikkhuni Devasara, along with some other bhikkhunis, went to mainland China, and that was amazing, a remarkable contribution of Sri Lankan bhikkhunis to the world Buddhism. And so it is very special that we celebrate this day. We pay tribute, we pay respect to Theri Sanghamita on this day. So today I discovered, I just wanted to actually discuss with you a very important sutta, maybe a part of it at least, according to the time limit I would like to discuss a little bit about this particular sutta. But before that, I would like to share the merits with our sponsors of today's Dhamma talk. And today's Dhamma talk is sponsored by Mrs. Sunitra Gunawardana and family in memory of late Mr. Buddhi Gunawardana and the parents. And I heard Mr. Buddhi Gunawardana was very instrumental, a very pioneering members of this Lankarama Buddhist temple. I heard he is the one who actually brought the Bodhi sapling to Lankarama, first temple, and so we were talking about the Bodhi sapling which was introduced to Sri Lanka in 3rd century BC. And Mr. Buddhi Gunawardana is the one who actually brought Bodhi sapling to Lankarama Buddhist temple. So it's really, I don't know how it happened, it's quite a coincidence. Right? And now the Lankarama Bodhi tree is so beautiful, very beautiful, and it's really amazingly placed in our new temple. And he brought the Bodhi tree to the other temple, the previous one, and now it is still working, growing, and really being respected and venerated by many hundreds of people around this area. So really, I think it's a very good blessing to Mrs. Sunitra Gunawardana. Yeah?
The Janina, she is very keen. She was related.
Okay. Yeah, good to see you, and thank you for joining us in person for today's Dhamma talk. Okay, that being said, let's go to the sutta. Majjhima Nikaya 4th sutta. Majjhima Nikaya is a really very important section of Buddhism. I was thinking of the current situation today. Lots of people are suffering, right? And I don't know if it is appropriate for me to give those statistics, but every day we see people in trauma, and people in fear and agony and pain. And I heard every 5 minutes somebody dies here due to corona. That's really a staggering statistic. And then world over nearly 2 million people have died. And that's, again, even in Sri Lanka, the situation is not good. And here in USA, in India, and many other countries in the world are really suffering. So, what can we do? Maintain social distance, wearing the mask, and cleaning our hands, washing hands. But that alone will not be helpful, right? Maybe we need to do something more. So, what did the Buddha say in a situation like this? It's really good. He said, actually, the discussion took place between Brahmin Janusoni and the Buddha. Janusoni came to the Buddha when he was in Jetavana Monastery, Anathapindika's Jetavana Monastery. And Janusoni asked the Buddha, Master Gautama, remote lodgings, the Buddhist monks, they stay in the wilderness, in solitary places, far away from these urban areas, in the wilderness. And really, it's not really a comfortable place, and also it's not really so peaceful. Like maybe for average people, it's not a comfortable place at all. So how do you survive? And a lot of people, if they go there, we know, like a lot of ascetics, other practitioners, they find it very challenging. And the Buddha said, yes, you are very right, you are very correct. To practice in that lonely, far remote wilderness is always challenging. It's not an easy task. I had the same problem. I had the same problem. So Buddha gives here in this sutta 16 factors. 16 factors whereby he himself had the self-confidence that he could survive in that deep, dense jungle, even in the pitch darkness. People have phobia, right? Are you scared of darkness? Right? So people have different phobias, hectophobia, agoraphobia, right? Some people are scared of cockroach, and some people are scared of water. Ocean. Now after the tsunami, people are scared of sea, right? And lots of phobias are there. And claustrophobia. People are scared now to be inside a closed place. Particularly these days, people are having that problem because you are kind of confined to your own house, your own home. So it's really scary, and they want to come out of their home. They want to be free, without mask, and they want to exercise their freedom, and they can't do that. So kind of claustrophobic feelings are there right now. So what should we do? This is really a good question for us to discuss. So the Buddha said, when he was in the jungle, it happened to him, the Buddha said. When he was in the jungle, he noticed that many other Brahmins, many other practitioners, they stay in the jungle, but without having kaya visuddhi, what you call aparisuddha kaya kammanta, means not pure with the bodily actions. And if you do not follow those precepts in the jungle, it's not going to be easy. So the Buddha said that. And if you stay in the jungle, you would really have to practice. You have to follow those precepts. Parisuddha kaya kammanta is important. That is pure bodily actions, and pure verbal actions, and pure mental actions. Those three things are important. And then also samma ajiva, like good livelihood should be there. You can mess around in the jungle. You have to be compassionate. You have to be kind to the animals. You have to be respectful to them. You have to know that there are other animals around, and so you have to be respectful to all of them, and also to the nature, the plants, all these beautiful fauna and flora, you have to be respectful to them, the rivers, the mountains, the trees and everything. If you are respectful to them, you should be fine. So also you should not harm those things unnecessarily. We have to be really very careful about that, the Buddha said. Buddha said, I did not have that problem because parisuddha kaya kammanto hamasmi. I was very pure in my conduct. I was very confident of my pure conduct. And my precepts were, I know what I was doing, and even in that wilderness, I did not have fear and dread. This is called bhaya bhairava. Bhaya means fear, bhairava means dread. I did not have that bhaya bhairava. I did not have that fear and dread because I was confident of my precept. So it's a good lesson to all of us. And even today, when we have that phobia, when you have that trauma, if you feel confident of your own practice, you don't have to worry. Even if you die, it's okay. Everyone will die anyway. We can survive forever. And so we can live, we can die peacefully, with happy state of mind. And so the Buddha said, my conduct was pure, so I did not have to worry. My bodily, verbally, and mentally, I was very pure. I was good. And Buddha said, I am one of those noble ones who frequent lodgings in the wilderness and the forest with purified conduct of body, speech and mind. So he did not want to take the credit all for himself. He was really, see, look at this also, is a very good example of an exemplary leadership. And such a good spiritual, very humble spiritual master he was. And he would give credit to all the other good practitioners too. He said, I am one of those. I was not the only one. I am one of those practitioners who would be pure in our conduct. So he gave credit to other people also who did that. And then the Buddha said, when he was living like that, he also noticed that there are other defilements too, not only those things. And those one of them is abhijjalu kamesu tibbasaraga. That means very strong, what do you call, full of desire. If you have so many desires in the wilderness, let's say like you are meditating and suddenly you get some desires. And when you have desires, you get fear and dread. You get fear and dread. And other people suffered. They could not succeed because they were not pure in that. They were overwhelmed with fear and dread. So even if you are far away from the urban areas, even if you are alone, but if your heart and mind is not pure, it doesn't make much of a sense. Right? Even if you are staying among the people, you can really practice with solitude if your conduct is good. This is one of those cases that the Buddha talks about. Tibbasaraga means strong lust. Sometimes it can happen to you because you are far away and you are alone, kind of lonely, in solitude, and that can happen to you sometime. And then the Buddha said, I did not have that problem. I was very confident, I was very pure, and I was very good in my practice. So I did not have that problem. He did not have that desires. Tibbasaraga means he did not have that strong lust. Yeah. And he again said about some people, even in the jungles, can sometimes it can happen to you. You get angry. You kind of get angry, maybe due to mosquito, or maybe due to weather, or maybe you are not succeeding. You are practicing so hard, still you are not successful. You might get angry, and that cannot help you. That cannot help you too either. And the Buddha said, I did not have that problem. I was so full of metta chitta. Metta chitta means, metta means loving kindness, right? So he was so full of loving, heart full of love was there. So Buddha did not have that problem. And then again, thina middha pariyuttita. Thina middha means, thina middha, right? A lot of people have this, even in our day-to-day life. If you want to succeed, you need to overcome thina middha, this sloth and torpor, or what do you call, dullness and drowsiness. Let's say your children want to study, and you take the book, you feel drowsy, then you can't succeed, right? So for that you have to make some effort. If you are not energetic, you cannot do that. So the Buddha said, I did not have that practice. Let's say like you are meditating for hours and hours. The clock is ticking and you are not doing anything. You feel like, okay, now it's enough, maybe I take a rest. But for a practitioner, you cannot be like that. You have to really energetic. You have to be really energetic. You have to work hard. So Buddha said, I did not have that problem. And then uddhata, aupasanna chitta means, he says, restless. Uddhacha, what we call uddhacha means restless. So bodily and mentally, when practitioner is restless, he cannot practice either. So mentally and bodily you have to be very peaceful. And so Buddha said he had peace of mind, and he had tinna vichikicca oham asmi. I had no doubt about my practice, and I was good in, I was not doubting, and I was not uncertain. So I've gone beyond doubt. I was very focused. I was very confident of my perspective, my vision, and my mission was very clear to me. And this one I think is very good. Again, number 10, attukkansana and paravampana. Have you heard of this? No. Attukkansana means there are some people, due to many reasons, when you have maybe a good look, when you are good, well educated, when you have a lot of money, when you have a lot of friends, good name and fame, then this problem can happen to you, even for a spiritual practitioner. Let's say I got first jhana and I got some mystic powers, that can happen to you. Attukkansaka and paravambi means you glorify yourself. I am the best, and look down upon others. They are not so good like me. They are not rich like me. They are not good looking like me, and they are not pretty, handsome or something, or not educated like me. They don't have many friends like me. They don't have good name and fame like me. And also for a practitioner, I am meditating, all the time, and they don't meditate. So attukkansaka and paravambana can happen to anyone. We have to be very careful. So this one is really, now it's getting more serious. The Buddha said he was so humble and so simple, he did not have that problem either. And the other one is chambi bhiruka jatika, that vigata loma hansopahamasmi, cowardly and craven. That also was a problem. And sometimes you get startled, you get goosebumps in meditating alone. So the Buddha said, I did not have that problem either, because of my self-confidence and my good practice and my focus. And the other one is labha sakkara silokang nikamaya mana. Then that means when you have lot of possessions, honor, and popularity, then also it can be difficult for a practitioner, because you have so many maybe responsibilities, you have so many duties to do, commitments, and many things are there, so it's difficult. Let's say like Bhante Devananda, he has so many duties to do. It's difficult to, he has to focus on many things, but amazingly somehow he balances very beautifully. He can still smile and he can maintain that. Not many people can do that, and so the Buddha said, I have very few wishes. Even being a Buddha, he would very easily, very comfortable, very peaceful. So it was easy going for him. Wherever he goes, he feels comfortable. Under a tree, he's okay. And in a cave, he was okay. In deep jungle, he was okay. Because we have few wishes. Just like a homeless person, homeless person doesn't have many things, right? So it's okay. But like for you, you have some things at home, some possession, your car, your property, did you lock the door? So you have to think of many things, right? So when you have so many possessions, then also it is difficult. And then another very important thing is kusita hina virya, that is lazy and lack of energy. When you are lazy or when you are actually lackadaisical, that we call it's very hard. You can achieve anything, even just for mundane things. You can't achieve things, right? You really want to work hard. You have to be industrious. You have to be laborious. And the Buddha said, I never had that problem. I would wake up early morning. I had very little sleep or something. But I really worked very hard according to a schedule. I had very strenuous practice. So I did not have that problem. I was very energetic. Virya, adhitthana, paramitas. Virya, do you know the meaning virya? Virya means effort. You make effort. For every success of your life, you need to make some effort. And things will not come to you like in a nothing will come to you just like that. You really have to go achieve that, right? And then adhitthana means you have to determine. You have to be really determined. I'm going to do this. Every day I'm going to wake up little early. I'm going to sleep little but work more, and until I achieve that success. Maybe sometime I don't have to sleep much. Maybe I had to work little more extra. That extra thing, that extra effort and extra determination are the key factors for you to achieve some extra success, right? If you want to be extra successful, then you have to be little more energetic, little more effort you need to make. And then now when you have those things, two more things, mutthassati, asampajana, upattita sati, hamosmi. That means mutthassati asampajana means unmindfulness, no sati. When you don't have mindfulness, you can't do anything. Okay. You have to be focused. You have to be keen on whatever you do. So you really have to make make sure that mindfulness is with you. And then lack situational awareness. This situational sampajanya means, so whatever you do it with mindfulness. Okay. Let's say like you cook yourself and don't think of other things, right? When you drive, don't think of other things, right? And then you don't get accidents. You feel more focused on whatever you do. To be precise, to live at the present moment. Don't live in the past, don't live in the future, live at the present moment. And most of us, actually this is the most difficult thing. To live in the present moment is the most challenging thing for all of us. Either we stay in the past or we daydream about our future, right? Oh, I had this thing in the past, I had a lot of friends, I had some fun, or you think of that. Or else you think, oh, I'm going to do this in the future. And even now maybe you're thinking, after this, what should I do? What should I eat after this? And so we cannot, we find it very hard and challenging to live at the present moment. And that is why meditation is important. So one of the key technique to counter this thing is meditation. And maybe focus on your breathing. Listen to your own breathing in and breathing out. This simple thing can make so much difference into your life. You can practice that if you have such a difficulty. And then Buddha said, asamahita, vibhanta chitta, that means lack of immersion and straying mind, the monkey mind, what we call, or wandering mind, can be a big problem. Buddha said, I am accomplished in my samadhi. I did not have that problem either. And then tassamayhang etadahosi, Buddha said, duppanya ela muga. That means witlessness and stupidity. So the other thing is you have to be witty, you have to be wise, and you have to be strong in your conviction, and you have to be intelligent and smart. Then also you will not get fear and dread. Right? Bhaya and bhairava means fear and dread. So why it happened to the people in the jungle, for example, like Buddha said when he was practicing in the wilderness, sometimes he noticed that he wanted to feel that fear. He was chasing fear. And when he was walking, when he got fear, he would think, I'm not going to do anything else until and unless I sort this out. Okay, my fear had to be completely gone, and then only I would sit. While walking, if I get fear, I will not stop walking. I will keep walking until I get that fear out of my mind. And then when he was sitting, if he get fear, he thought the same. I would not stand, I would not lay down, I would not walk, I would rather sit until I get this thing sorted out. That's really a very practical solution. Most of us would like to see something else, outside help or something, but he was trying to analyze and he was trying to figure out what is fear. And when he was closing his eyes and meditating, suddenly fear would come. And then what should you do? He was thinking, why should I wait for the fear? Rather, should I wait for the fear? Oh, the fear is coming. Rather, why not I observe? Why should I judge? Why should I not observe it? Just observe it. Oh, fear came. And then the fear will be gone sooner. He recovered that. And actually he found it very successful, very helpful in dealing with the fear. Sometimes he wanted to practice in deep jungle in very dark days, like what you call 14th day of the month, and 15th day of the month, and 8th day of the month. Those are lunar calendar, rather dark days. And he would stay there in the jungle waiting for the fear. And then suddenly he would hear a noise of a peacock snapping a twig, and then suddenly he hear, oh, this is a sound. And then, okay, he noticed that, oh, it is the sound of a peacock snapping a twig, so I don't have to worry. Just a sound. And then again he noticed the hissing sound of the air, wind. In the jungle, you don't have vehicles, you don't have other things, right? But he heard those things, and then he figured it out. This hissing sound is not a ghost. It's nothing to be worried about. It's just the hissing sound of uh, the wind. So that way he figured out, he analyzed, he recognized those things, and then the fear did not come to him anymore. So as long as you are not reacting to those things, as long as you observe those things, very easy for you to actually cope up with such situations. And then the Buddha said he could achieve the jhanas, the first jhana, the second jhana. In this sutta it goes on to explain how the Buddha achieved those things. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and the fourth jhana. And then he could also see how he could look into his own past births, previous births, one after another. One birth, two births, three births, 10 births, 100,000 births. He could look back into himself, because his sharpness, his concentration, his samadhi was so strong, and his heart was very pure and no defilements. When the mind becomes more and more clearer, you can see things, you can see through the walls, and you can hear through the walls. You can hear things far away, from far away places. And he also improved his dibba chakku, what you call clairvoyance, so that he could see these things. And then he could also see other people dying and being born. He saw many people, like a bird's eye view. From the sky he could see people are born, and in many different births, because of their own karma, good and bad karma, they are born in heavenly world or in hell realms. He could see that. He could see everyone, and because of his improvement in his practice. So this is how the Buddha finally achieved his goal, his dream. So today I want to remind to all of you that the fear can be there, the dread can be there, the bhaya and bhairava can be there with us. But if you are confident of your practice, the fear will be gone. And don't react to that. Don't judge. Just observe it, and it will be gone. And most of us, I know, recently I met one lady who came to the temple, and I saw her going to the Bodhi tree. I felt, and she was really, really stressful. Okay, I really felt like I should talk to her. And I asked her, are you okay? Do you need some help? She said, yeah, I need some blessing. She came first time to this temple. And then I said, okay, let's go. I will pray for you. And then before praying, actually, I gave her a Dhamma talk. I said, I just listened to her first. She said, her family members have lost jobs because of the COVID. And then she herself is having the job, but she is suffering. The family members are also suffering. And now things are getting more and more worse. And I noticed through her eyes and her, dark eyes and her face, everything was changed. And so I said, you have the job, right? She said, yes, I have the job. So what happened if you lose your job? Because of your situation here, now you are stressed. At least you have the job. Something is better than nothing. And your family members don't have jobs, that's okay. But at least you have the job. So if you think that way, you should be able to figure out a way out. Otherwise, you will be in more trouble. Because if you lose the job like this, if you go stressed and you can work properly, you cannot focus on your own job, and then people might fire you, right? So you have to focus on yourself. What I mean to say is, most of us are worried about what we do not have. We are not happy with what we have. We have many things, but we are not happy. We always try to search something that we don't have. This is the problem. Or we are worried about other people's problems. You are okay. If you are, I'm okay. Then why are you worried? I'm worried about my children. I'm worried about my family members. I'm worried about my country, all this. So what happens? You take others' problems into yourself and you suffer. This is the problem. This is why we suffer. So if you react to those things in a negative way, you will not be able to figure out how to come out of that problem. You are the problem, right? So I must say, you first think of yourself. Your inner peace, if you disturb your inner peace, no matter what happens, you cannot face the challenge. First maintain your inner peace. That is the most important thing. Always think of your own inner peace. If you have inner peace, if you maintain that peace and happiness and smile, you can give something to others. You can inspire them. Even in this COVID-19 situation, if you smile, if you are happy, people will look at you and they will inspire. They will be inspired. Oh, this lady is so happy. This lady is smiling all the time and she is not stressful. And the other people will get that good vibe, positive energy from you, and then they will talk to you maybe. How do you become like this? How do you maintain that? Then you can share this. Because I maintain my inner peace. When I maintain my inner peace, I'm okay. I don't really worry about too many things, because things are there we can control, right? So we have to control ourselves first. When you are confident, as the Buddha said, if he lost his control, he wouldn't be able to stay in the jungles. He would be scared, he wouldn't be able to practice. But he would practice, he would focus, he was maintaining his inner peace, then he could achieve his spiritual goal. Every one of us has this thing, that every one of us should try to maintain our inner peace. In order to do that, I highly recommend practice meditation daily. Do something, at least 5 minutes. If you are very brand new to meditation, 5 minutes. Starts with 5 minutes meditation. Okay, even in traffic light, maybe listen to your own breath. That will help you ease out. Okay, I get some time to meditate, just few seconds, rather than accelerating when you see the yellow light, rather than accelerating. Oh, this is time for me to meditate. I call it traffic light meditation. So meditate every second. Those can be very worth, and then you don't get restless, right? And after all, what is the point in hurrying with those few seconds? It doesn't make much of a sense, right? And rather than getting a ticket or being part of an accident or something, you maybe maintain your own peace, inner peace. Be happy with what you do. Be confident of your practice, and also live at the present moment. Practice a little bit. If you practice early morning, 5 minutes, and then before bed, 5 minutes, just practice. Listen to your own breath. That will help you find that inner peace. Okay, and then keep doing it. And when you keep doing it, maybe I actually advise my students to start with 5 minutes a day. First week, 5 minutes. Okay, every day 5 minutes. And then the second week, 6 minutes. Not much. Because you have to very carefully introduce this to yourself. Otherwise the mind will be very restless. So you just bodily and mentally you can prepare yourself when you increase slowly. Second week, 6 minutes. Third week, 7 minutes. So you keep doing it, and eventually you will see Now I can meditate for 20 minutes. Now I can meditate for 30 minutes. That's amazing. Every time you look back, you feel happy and confident, and you will improve that. So eventually, you can find that inner road to peace and happiness. Okay? With that, I would like to conclude today's Dhamma talk. Thank you so much for joining us. And Mrs. Sunitra Gunavardhana and family, and
Janinda.
Janinda?
Janinda.
Janinda, and also she is Mrs. Damayanti, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for sponsoring the temple of Lankarama, this Undua Full Moon Day event, and I would like to share this merit with late Mr. Buddhi Gunavardhana and the parents of Mrs. Sunitra Gunavardhana. Please think of all the merits that you accrued today and during your lifetime. By practicing Dana Sila Bhavana, even during the samsara, you must have accrued so much of merit. And with the power of that, may all your departed relatives be well, happy, and healthy and safe wherever they are. May you be blessed by the noble triple gem. May no fear and dread come to you. Okay, and may inner peace be with you. May all the Mahasangha members of this temple, may all the devotees of this temple, and may all the people who join us today online also be blessed by the noble triple gem. And thank you again for joining us through Zoom, through Facebook, and through YouTube, through Lankarama, through Indiana Buddhist Temple, and through Kotte Rajamaha Vihara, through Dhamma USA. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you Bhante Devananda and the Mahasangha members of this temple for organizing this event. And we would like to say, we would like to share this merit with all the people in the world who suffer, who have fear and dread. May all of them be well, happy and healthy. May the noble triple gem bless you, help you, protect you and guide you towards the right path. May all of us be able to achieve the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.